Hey, welcome back to Ozarks Live. Joey isn't here today, so today we'll call Joey's book club Jeff and Kerrigan's book club.
Hey, right?
Yeah, nice. We're here with Miranda and Haley. Guys, great to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, so talk to us about what books you brought today.
Okay, yes. Before we start talking about books, we chose our books because of the Winter Reading Challenge for adults that's happening right now at the library. This runs right now through the end of February.
Oh, wow.
And what we are asking people to do are read books that fulfill one of these challenges. Actually, there are 15 of them, and we want you to read 5.
Okay.
Or at least fulfill 5 of these categories.
Jeff, do you know how to read?
Yeah, really good.
Okay. Really?
Just making sure. You can do this.
13th grade level.
This is just
reader.
for you then.
Yeah.
So it's kind of designed to not only get you to read more, but to read something that maybe you wouldn't read before, get you outside of your comfort zone a little bit. So you see like an author new to you, under 200 pages, a retelling of a story, an author of color, something set in winter. So we put together a fun little mix of things here.
I like it.
So the books that we brought fulfill at least 5 of the challenges, which is what you have to do to get your prize, by the way, which is this great mug.
Look
That's
at
a
that.
prize.
So when you turn in your form, when you turn in your form, you get this nice Winter Reading Challenge mug to drink your winter drinks from.
Perfect.
There you go.
So the first book that I brought is called March. It is by John Lewis, who is a congressman in Georgia.
Okay.
He was a key figure in the civil rights movement from way back in the 60s up until today. So he's talking about his viewpoint of that in this story, and this is the first of 3 volumes.
Okay.
So it is a graphic novel.
Oh, awesome.
So it's told in the graphic form, which is great because it's, for a comic book reader, you could learn something new, and for somebody who is a history buff, you could get into a new format. So
Okay, what else do you guys have for us?
pretty cool thing. Another one that I brought is Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. This is one that would take pretty much any reader outside of their comfort zone. It's a weird one. There are 6 different storylines, and they're formatted in like a nesting doll or onion format, you would call it.
Okay.
So the first story breaks off in half. You go to the second story, breaks off in half. The 6th one is complete, but then after that finishes, you get the second half of the one that you started with.
Oh my gosh.
That's weird.
And so on.
Is it hard to follow?
It isn't, because there are interconnectedness, aspects of interconnectedness here. They'll always refer to the one before or the one coming up. They're set in different time periods. So the first one's back in the 1800s, and the last one is in the far future.
Okay.
So it's really interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Haley,
But
what
it's
did you
really
bring
fun.
for us? Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off. I just, there's so many books. We have to read them all.
So I brought The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. It's a fantasy novel. It takes place in a Russian village, mostly in the winter.
Okay.
And it's a retelling of Russian fairy tales and folklore. So you can check that one off the list
there
here.
you go.
The main character, her name is Vazia, and she's a young girl who has magical abilities to see the characters and creatures from these fantasy stories that she grew up listening to.
Okay.
And so it kind of ends up being up to her to save her family and her village from evil, basically. So classic good versus evil story, but with an original
You
spin
can never
on
go
it.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Good variety of books. This is great.
Yeah.
Just what you guys want.
Good job, yeah.
And then this one, Girls Who Run the World by Diana Kapp. It is a unique spin on business advice. So it includes 31 mini biographies from female CEOs who give their own personal tips and words of empowerment. So you're not only learning about them and their companies, but also some practical tools for business and just goals in general. So I guess even though it's
Are there pictures in it?
Yeah, there's actually some really
because I was
cool-
looking and those look really awesome.
Yes, so there's some cool illustrations in the book as well. So that makes it really engaging.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell us one more time about the winter reading challenge, just so if anyone missed it, 'cause this sounds really exciting.
Yes,
And
you
you
can
get a mug.
find. Yes, the prize is this great mug. You can find more information at thelibrary.org/reading challenge. That's where you can find a copy of this to print out for yourself. You can get this at any of our library branches. There are also on the website, we have some suggested titles for each of these 15 points. So if you don't know what to read, we've got some recommended books.
Awesome, that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for bringing all these. These are awesome.
Thank
well,
you.
definitely. Are you going to do the reading challenge?
Yeah, I think so.
You better.
Sounds fun.
You're going to have to get your mug.